Hey, my name is Vera and welcome to this video. So it's been a while since I made a video, but it's been very busy. I've been moving house and I finally settled in completely, so I finally have some time again to film a video, and that's what I'm going to do today. I wanted to film this video for months now. I've been planning it for months, and yeah, it finally feels right to do it. So what am I going to do in this video exactly? Well, I will be talking about panic attacks and derealization, difficult word, and especially on how to deal with them and my personal tips and tricks. I have quite some experience on this topic, which it's not fun. I know it's actually horrible, and the least thing I can do is share my experience and my tips and tricks, and maybe it will help some of you, maybe only one of you. I hope at least one person will benefit from my tips. I will talk about my own experience a bit first, and yeah, I have a little book, so I'll be looking at that sometime with all my notes. Yeah, so I will be talking about my experience. I'll also be talking about what derealization and or panic attacks feel like for me personally, because yeah, it's you know, it's different for everyone. So I think that's really important to know what I'm talking about. And then I'll be talking about the tips that really help me and the things I do when I'm having a panic attack. So yeah, that's it, I think. You might have noticed I'm surrounded by these painting stuff, and I'll be painting when I'm filming this video and talking about this topic. Which might be weird. I mean, it's not a really logical combination, but I thought I really wanted to paint and I really wanted to film this video, so why not combine the two? Because I have a limited time, you know. And also I thought painting is quite meditative, and this topic is quite heavy, so it might make things a little easier, a little lighter. So I'm inviting you to also pick up something you like, something creative while watching this video, maybe painting, drawing, or just watching me paint. I don't know, it doesn't matter, but you know, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be nice what I'm going to paint. I don't even know what I'm going to paint, but it doesn't matter. It's just, yeah, it's good, I think, to do. So I need some paint. I have all these tubes here, but I need some paint to actually paint something. Okay, while I'll do this, I'm gonna be talking about, let's have my little notes ready, about my own experience with panic attacks and derealization. So it all started at the age of, I think like 10 or 11 maybe. Some really traumatizing stuff happened in my life, personal life, which triggered panic attacks, derealization, but I wasn't aware of what it actually was. So I kind of felt like, I know, it felt really weird and scary, but I didn't know what it was, and that made it even more scarier, and it made me even more freak out. And it turned out that feeling that I had was derealization, but I only knew that after like a year or something. So yeah, that's when it all started. I also started really breathing weird and kind of like hyperventilating, which it's not fun, guys. It's not fun. Yeah, so around the age of 14, it really, yeah, it was the worst ever. It was so bad. I was especially very scared of panic attacks and derealization. I was scared it might happen when I was somewhere public, so that resulted in me at the age of 14 not going anywhere. I missed like 1/3 of a school year when I just stayed home, and I felt ill and I really couldn't go to school, which was awful. And I also didn't really want to tell, I didn't dare to tell my friends, because I didn't even really know what was happening to me, so how am I going to explain it to my friends, you know? So it was all, yeah, it wasn't fun. I was always very nauseous before school because I was so nervous that something might happen. I freaked out about everything. Yeah, I not only skipped school, at one point I just didn't dare to go outside. Even walking the dog was too much. Yeah, it's horrible, you know, and how to get out of that, it's really hard, but I did it. And yeah, so at one point I realized that this is not a way of living. I can't go my whole life without going outside, you know, and at one point I really realized this, and I really wanted help because I knew I couldn't do it on my own. I needed help. So I got therapy, which really helped. I learned a lot there. And it was definitely not easy. Like, I was even scared of going to therapy because I was scared of having a panic attack or derealization, which is kind of ironic. Yeah, but I did go, and it really helped me. It really did. After that, I still had times of panic. Oh god, this really exploded. Anyway, I still had times of where I felt panicky and scared, and yeah, but I knew how to handle it more, and it didn't really rule my life that much. So I just went out, and I might felt very panicky, but I still went on, you know. So the supermarket was a big deal for me for a long time. I didn't dare to go to the supermarket for some reason, but I just kept doing it. And you know, it gets easier at times when you know how to deal with it, and you know, it gets easier. So even now, it's like I'm 20 now, so it's 6 years since the really low point in my life. Even now, I sometimes have panic and anxiety. Not so much panic attacks, but I recently got one since ages. Yeah, actually since years I got like a full-on panic attack and derealization, which freaked me out, and I cried, and it was horrible, and we were on the freeway, and yeah, not fun. But a lot was going on in my life, so I could explain it right away why it happened. But even then, I knew what to do. I knew what to do in that moment, and it went away after. It was only a few seconds even. I think it wasn't even like a whole minute, but it was very scary. But I knew what to do, and it worked. Yeah, so a little disclaimer. I'm not a professional at all. I'm just sharing my experience, and panic attacks are so different for everyone. Derealization feels different for everyone. So these tips might not work for you, but they might do, you know, so that's why I'm sharing it. I can't be the only one who experiences panic attacks and derealization in the way that I do. There must be someone else out there also struggling with this, so that's why I'm sharing this in hopes to help that certain someone. But just know that it isn't like guaranteed that these tips will work, but at least you can try them and see if they work for you. Yeah, so little disclaimer. I feel like an angry teacher. I should also paint, you know. The next thing I want to talk about is, what does derealization and panic attacks feel like for me? So since I've got one recently, it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of, how do you call it? It kind of brought back all memories, and I can really explain now, I think, how it feels. So in a way, it was a good thing. So let me start with derealization. Derealization, if you don't know what it is, for me it feels like you're watching a movie from your own eyes. So everything you see is not real, or it is real but it is distant from you. It feels as if you're not in reality, you're not connected to reality, as if you're in a dream, as if you can wake up at any time and you're in another place and you're actually wake up, you know. So it's really scary because, you know, feeling disconnected and in that way from your reality is just, it's scary, and it's not really explainable in words. But that's the best thing I can do. If you have derealization, I think you know what I mean. You really have to experience it. Well, you better don't, because it's not fun. But if you have experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. And because that's so scary, it freaks me out. And I start panicking about having derealization. And that panic makes it even worse. And then I'm panicking about panicking, and you know, you're in this circle. Yeah, it's not fun. So they're kind of like interrelated for me, derealization and panic attacks. But I also want to say that I didn't have that many panic attacks actually. I only have like 5 or 6 major ones that I can remember, but ooh, it's bright. But more so, what really ruled my life was the fear of having a panic attack or having derealization, and that was like the worst thing. So I would always be scared of having a panic attack, of starting to feel that panic come up, and you're thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna have a panic attack now, what am I gonna do? And you think that, and then you're gonna panic about that because you're going to have a panic attack, you think. And well, you know, it's again this vicious circle, which at one point caused me to not leave the house anymore. I should paint, guys. I'm kind of like forgetting to paint. It's difficult to paint and talk. One important thing as well is when I was panicking, when I felt anxious, your body is reacting to that as well. So your body is thinking like, there's something to panic about, so I must prepare for danger. So you get things like feeling nauseous, having like really hard heartbeats, sweaty hands, dizziness maybe even. It differs for everyone, but you know, it's you have all these like physical reactions, which in turn make me freak out more. Because you're like, oh my god, what's wrong with me? My body is reacting weird. Am I gonna have a heart attack or something? You know, you're gonna think all those things, which make you even more panicky. And yeah, again, the vicious circle, which you have to break through in order to get out of it. I don't know, by the way, when I'm painting, I love yellow, ochre yellow, so that's what I'm putting all over it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so now we come to the ultimate question: how to break through this vicious circle and what to do when you're having a panic attack. I'm gonna give you some tips on how to deal with panic attacks in a moment. So when you're, I shouldn't do this. So when you're feeling panicky, when you're having a panic attack, so yeah, tips on that, but also tips about fearing a panic attack. So the fear before a panic attack, which really ruled my life at one point. And I think those are two different things, you know. So firstly, I'm going to talk about the things you can do when you're having a panic attack or derealization or anything like that. So the first one, a really big one for me, is again, I'm pointing, I shouldn't do that. So the first one, and also the biggest one for me, is learn how to accept, you should learn how to accept the fear and the panic. And that sounds really vague in a way. It's always with things like, you should just accept this, or you should just accept yourself. And it's really fake. But what I mean with it is, you shouldn't look at fear as being the enemy. You should look at it as it being a friend of yours. A friend which sometimes visits you and it always leaves again. So when you're seen as an enemy, you are kind of fighting against the panic. You don't want it to come, you're angry at it. And your body in turn, at least in my case, would react also quite heavily. So having, like what I just said, all those physical reactions. So which again makes you more panicky and stuff. So, but when I really try to, and it took a while, this is not something that you can do like instantly, like, oh, think of panic as a friend and it will magically go away. No, it takes time and effort and it's hard. But once you really try to see it as a friend and, you know, just when a panic comes up, think like, okay, here is the panic again. I know this feeling, it's an old friend. It's fine that it's there. Really important one in accepting it. It's fine that it's there, and it will go away. For me, it really worked at one point, because, you know, it's just a feeling, you know, and you probably have had it quite some times, and it's always gone away. You're still alive, you know, so you should accept it and not fight against it in order to also make your body not react to it as much. And then you're not very likely to go into that vicious circle. So next one is Oh yeah, realize that the panic you're feeling is not deadly or fatal. When you're panicking, it feels like, in my case, in my experience, that you're gonna die. Because it's just so bad, you think like you're gonna die, this is it. Which in turn makes you more panicky. You should realize that the panic you're feeling is all in your head, and your body is just giving a natural reaction to it because it thinks that it's in danger and it should prepare for, you know, fighting. It's all in your head and it's not deadly, it's not fatal, you won't die, you know. It will always go away, even how, you know, even if it feels like it's the worst and you can't deal with it and it will break you and it will kill you, it won't. So I think that's especially really useful for derealization, because that can be like the scariest feeling ever because you're disconnected from reality. So the next one is to consciously relax your muscles. Because I really noticed that when I panicked, I was always like cramped up. My shoulders were like high and I was tensing all my muscles unconsciously. And you should really focus on that when you're feeling panicky. Like, what are you feeling in your body? Like, where are you tensing any muscles? Because I always did. And when you consciously then make the decision to relax those muscles, you stop your body from thinking that it's in danger and it should fight. It should prepare for fighting. That's another big thing. Try to consciously relax your muscles. Oh my god, I'm filming like 20 minutes and I've only painted this small part and I'm not even sure what I'm doing, but we're just gonna go along with the flow. Yes, so brown. So the next tip is to concentrate on really happy moments that you can remember. So what I mean is, when you are feeling panicky, when you're having a panic attack, really concentrate on a memory that makes you happy and that makes you feel safe. So for me, for example, it was concentrating on being at home. It's evening, it's raining outside, and you're all cozy on the couch with a soft blanket and a cup of warm tea, and my dog is on my lap, and it's just, you know, I'm watching a movie and it's all very calm and chill and I'm feeling completely relaxed. I'm feeling safe. Yeah, so that was the memory, kind of, I think, for me. So when you're having a panic attack, really focus on that. And by really focusing, I mean smell the tea, smell, I don't know, the rain maybe, hear the rain, hear the movie, feel you petting your dog or your cat or whatever. You know, really imagine that scene vividly in front of your eyes. And it will take your mind off the panicky feeling, and it makes you feel, well, that's the idea at least, it makes you feel calm and in that moment and forget the panic, and you know, so that can help you as well. I gotta say, this wasn't really the one for me, but I did try it, and you can too, and maybe it does work for you, you know, it's different for all people, so maybe that's a tip that really works for you. So yeah, that's another one. Next, that's another concentrate thingy. So when you're having a panic attack, really concentrate on something else. So that can be what I just said, the happy moment, but it can also be counting all the cars you see, or when you're at the airport counting all the suitcases you see, or I don't know, just focus on something that you can count, for example, and really count them. And again, you consciously change your focus from the panic and the things you're feeling to something outside. Or you can focus on your breathing. So consciously breathe in, hold it, and completely breathe out. Really helps also with like consciously relaxing your muscles. So you can maybe combine the two. Yeah, so it's all about changing your focus from the things you're feeling and thinking do something outside of that. So that were the tips I have on dealing with a panic attack in a moment. And now I also have some tips on how to not let your life be ruled by the fear of having a panic attack or the fear of having derealization. So the first one is the biggest one. It's the most important one, but also the hardest one, and it is to go outside and do stuff. It sounds really easy, but I know from experience that it can be the hardest thing ever, because once you go outside, you feel panicky. That's what I did, at least. So I just ignored it. I didn't go outside when I just didn't, because I thought I couldn't. But you should. It doesn't matter if you go for a 1-minute walk outside through your neighborhood. It doesn't matter if you go outside and stand there for 10 seconds, or you go to the supermarket, or you go by train somewhere. I don't even know. It doesn't matter. Just go out. How small or little it is, it doesn't matter. It's about going out there, leaving your safe place, and going out there and experiencing that you are able to handle the panic and the fear that comes with it. Even though that won't happen in like the first few times you go outside. Maybe you really feel panicky, and you it's horrible, but it is key, and you have to keep doing it. Implementing the tips I just said may help you to handle the panic you're having, even though that might take 10 times or 20 times. But you have to do it to break that circle of not going outside. Ooh, that's bright. Because if you keep saying no to things, you eventually won't dare to do anything. And I've been there. I've really been there. And it's not fun. You can't do anything with your friends. You're just all by yourself, and it sucks. It really sucks. It's not cool. And a big thing is, be proud of yourself if you manage to go outside, even if it just was for like 10 seconds. Be proud of yourself, because you have just taken such a big step into dealing with your panic and your derealization. It's a big step, even though it seems so small, and you might think like, oh my goodness, 10 seconds, what's that? Like, how am I going to go outside and do stuff ever again in my life? But it's the first step you have to take, and if you have done it, be so proud of yourself. Like, I am super proud of you, and you should be that of yourself as well, because you deserve it. But also, don't be angry at yourself when you didn't go outside for a day, when you didn't manage to do it. There will always be days where you're even feeling worse, than other days, and you won't manage to go outside. Please don't be mad at yourself. Just know that these days happen as well. They will always keep happening, probably. Days where you'll feel a little off. Don't be mad at yourself, and see the next day as a new opportunity, and really try to go outside then, But just please try it. Really try it. What can help you with this is also talking about your problems with loved ones, people that care about you, people that love you, and try to talk about your panic attacks and the things you're dealing with. And maybe they can help you. Maybe you feel safer if you have someone to go outside with, someone you can rely on, something you can say what you're feeling to, and say to them like, okay, this is enough, I should go inside now. Or someone who can help you become calm when you're panicky. So this is really important also. Just try to talk about it with someone you really love, because they will understand. Well, maybe they won't understand, but if they really love you, they will accept it, and they will want to help you. And they can encourage you, for example, to go outside and do something with them. And it might be awful, but at least you did it, So it helps to have someone at your side to encourage you to do things. Yeah, so I thought about maybe making another video in the future about how to deal with people who are having panic attacks or anxiety or derealization, because it can be quite difficult. As a loved one, you probably have the best intentions to help those people, But I know from experience that even if you have the best intentions, you may do stuff or you may say stuff that doesn't actually work, and you think it works, and you think you're being, you know, you what I just said, you do it with the best intentions, but it doesn't work. It works actually in the wrong way, and it makes someone more anxious. Yeah, but that's for a future video, maybe, if someone is interested on how to deal with people who are suffering from panic attacks and derealization. So that were all the tips I have. The painting is not finished, not at all, but at least it was fun to do. Maybe you painted something as well. Maybe you can send it to me. I would really like to see it. I want to end with a bit of positivity, because it may seem a bit stupid to say, but it's true. Like, if I can do it, if I got out of that period of awfulness, of not leaving my house, of being scared all the time, of not knowing how to live for the rest of my life, then you can do it as well. And that's really true. Like, I'm not a magical person, and I struggled. I still struggle sometimes. And it's hard to implement these tips and really apply them to your situation. And it takes effort, it takes practice, a lot of practice. So you will be feeling panicky, maybe even more, when you're going outside and try to apply these tips than now. You know, maybe you will feel more panicky at first, but you have to practice with this, because when you practice, you become better at it. It's with everything. It will take time, it will take effort, it will take practice, it will take panic and derealization, but it will be worth it, because at the end you will get out of it. I promise you, you will be able to live a normal life like I do now. And I still feel panicky, and sometimes I still have a panic attack here and now, but then you know how to deal with them, and it won't rule your life anymore as much. Another important thing is that I don't want to forget to say is, sometimes there are underlying problems, like traumatizing experiences, which was the case for me. These tips may be not enough. They may help you in the moment to handle panic, but you might want to consider some form of therapy. And don't be ashamed of this, please, because it's nothing to be ashamed of. If you feel like that, yes, okay, these tips are nice, but I need something more to really focus on those underlying problems and how to deal with them, then maybe consider something like that. Maybe consider therapy or something. It may feel like you failed, that you have to get therapy, but it's actually like, when you take that step, when you decide that you need therapy and you're going to take therapy, then it's like the first big step in the right direction, and that's something that you can be so proud of. You are so brave by doing that, and I am super proud of you if you do that. If you think you need it and if you do it, then I'm super proud of you. So if you have any questions on panic attacks, derealization, anything that I talked about in this video, don't hesitate to ask me, don't hesitate to talk to me. You can leave a comment below, and maybe we can talk about it in the comments, also with other people who have similar experiences. Maybe, you know, I'm just one person and I just have a limited set of tips, but someone else might have another tip that really works for you. So I think we should really talk about it in the comments. Also, you can send me like personal message on Instagram or something, because it's also important to talk about these things and normalize them. You know, it's not something to be ashamed of, it's something to discuss with other people, and it's normal. And so many people, I believe so many people suffer from these things, so we should talk about it and help each other, I think. So I think that's it for this video, guys. I finally did it. I finally made this video, and I hope I said everything I wanted to say, and I hope that at least one person may find some tips helpful, because that's really the point of this video, is to help you guys who are struggling with things like this. And I just want to say one last time that I'm super proud of you for even watching this video, because it means that you want to do something about it. You want to do something about your situation, and that's like the first step, and I'm super proud of you. So yeah, the painting though, it's not finished. I think I'm just gonna paint. Maybe I'll do a little time lapse or something, or I'll show you the end result if there will be ever an end result, because I'm the kind of person who starts painting and then never finishes the painting, and then always feels like it's not good enough. But let's see what happens, you know? So I'm just gonna say bye for now, and maybe you'll see something of me painting a little bit, but I'm not sure. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!